Hello.
It worked.
We did it. We're here, I think.
Oh, yes, we
Chat,
are.
are we here? I think we're here.
Do we exist on the web?
Are we alive? We're alive, that's for sure.
Okay, great. Hopefully.
Cool.
That's so exciting.
What's happening here?
Okay, so this is very exciting. First and foremost, Alex is Alex, and Alex is also producer today. So we do not have the chef of the Brent. This is huge. Congratulations, Alex.
Yay. Huge thank you to Chef Brent, who's still here in chat because he wouldn't leave us to tell us, he set everything up for us and made everything happen. So I appreciate it. But yeah, let us know in chat if the music's too loud, if anything gets too weird. Just let us know what's going on because I'm trying my best here. But we're using EVMux and just cruising through the day. So yeah, and we've got all these scenes that he set up, like, it can be just me or it can be just Bianca. We'll do a screen share. We've even got a Be Right Back screen that we can use, although Be Right Back was blank. Weird. Whatever. Hopefully we won't use that one. We've got all of these scenes. So we got, we're happy to be here in chat. And we got somebody on YouTube saying hi. Teparingo Tours, hello on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, it wasn't blank to you guys. Sweet. So it just looked blank to me. We've also got the Twilio bot, so we should be all good in chat. So what's going on?
Did you just see the blending
it knows
in
I'm wearing tie-dye. Fun.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I was a little shook with that because I was just like, oh my gosh. It knows what you're wearing.
Just blending in like the streamer's tie-dye. Seems like the new setup is mixing things up more than expected. That's right. I've gone crazy. Wow. Sweet.
Wow. Okay. You did bring the tie-dye. You did say you were going to bring the tie-dye.
Yeah. Well, this is not official, but these are the colors of my university alma mater. And so I think the football season technically starts for college this weekend. So, thought I'd wear a little maize and blue.
Of course, very Michigan of you. So okay, let's see. What did we do for food today? What was the?
I just ate a turkey sandwich. Just finished it a minute before we went on stream. Thanks, okay. Chef Brent. Wait, hold on. Chef Brent's poo-pooing my Michigan. Last year it was a Michigan Penn State game for football, and Michigan won. In which case I won a bet, and Chef Brent was supposed to get me a hat, which he has yet to deliver. So, Chef, you can start. You can get back into the talk in there once you own up on the bet. But yes, football is the game where you throw a ball. Okay, Chef, he says he's bringing it to Portland when we film some content in Portland in October. I hope. I'm going to hold you to that.
Very exciting stuff. No, yeah. I food-wise today, definitely staying hydrated. I've gotten back on my tea. Okay. I feel like I want to get a better tea kettle press thing, but I really have leaned in. I've been doing this hibiscus ginger. That's been a thing. Then I did this fruity chai. So it has it's if chai and all the tropical flavors were BFFs. It's been great. So
I like that. Like a tropical chai? That sounds fun.
Yeah. So very, very on brand for me.
Yeah.
So that's
my favorite tea containers actually from a tea shop called Rishi. They're based in Madison. They have a long cylinder one. I've just broken it. So I don't have one of those right now. But that's my favorite one. This one's okay. It was an Amazon find. I couldn't find the same thing on Amazon, but
Rishi. Okay. Yeah. I always crack up. I always crack up because I was like, I wonder what Twilio's IT team is probably teapots, tea kettles, the way the searches will just go in every which direction. Sometimes I'm like, probably like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
No, that is pretty funny. Okay, so today we're very excited. We're gonna have a build for you later on, but as always, we're gonna find a topic of discussion. So one thing that's coming to mind for me, I've been doing a lot of just like cleaning, just like organizing and just kind of letting go of stuff. And I feel like when you're in that space, it has you like kind of rechecking like what's aligned, what's not. So I am putting us on the spot. I didn't tell you, Alex, that this is what we're going to do, but I am curious for us to like reflect on what, like if we were just kind of like just checking in on the A/B testing stream, what do we
Oh, so
like?
you don't want to know what I want to get rid of in my closet. You're talking about for A/B testing. How do we want to
Yeah.
like?
I mean, yeah, just kind of doing like because I think it's just inspired me to make sure, like, okay, do we feel like things are aligned? Are we,
Mhm.
what's speaking to us? Because I think this process has kind of illuminated my eyes to like the version that we were January of this. I think we started this in February, like
March, I
February.
think.
Oh, March. Wow. March us is very different than like August, September us. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the direction. Also, chat, I want you to be involved in this. Like, what have you enjoyed seeing? What's been exciting for you? But yeah, let's get the conversation rolling. So Alex,
Yeah.
like when you back in January, February, start of the year, right? We're like A/B
Yeah.
testing. Where was your head at? What were you thinking?
I don't think I was thinking. Like I was just like, oh, I've been on stream once or twice. It seems fun and cool. There was a part of me that kind of, I don't want to say like what's the word I'm looking for? Like thought this would be, there's a word but I can't find it, but like maybe fantasized. I fantasized that this would be a space where I'd get so much building done. Like this is going to be a place where I can build stuff, and it's going to be 2 hours every week where I'm going to build. Stream can be that, but it's not really that. It's a little bit different and it's a little bit hard to build. And as we've seen, it takes me a while to build things. And like, as you build, you're talking through them. It's just a different vibe. So in some regards, this has been a different build set. So that's like on one end of it. On the other end, I don't think I realized how fun doing some of the interviews was going to be. I don't like, that's the part that I've really fallen in love with this, which is talking to people. Oh, I can do this too. I forgot, which is talking to people. So like, and now I can produce and do this on my own. I forgot. Where are you, Chef Brent, when we need you? But I think that the talking to people has been so much fun that that's something I really enjoy. And then I think there's a whole wave that I don't think anybody that watches has seen necessarily, but we went through like panic mode for the first month or two of trying to figure out what we were going to talk about, to then being really well documented for the next 2 months about everything we were going to talk about weeks in advance. And then once kind of like summer hit, maybe July-ish, we've kind of just been doing it week to week, a little bit more freeform, and still felt really easy. So yeah, Bianca, I'm curious, what are your thoughts about like that? I don't know. I feel like I laid out as like something unexpected I liked, something I thought was going to happen that didn't, and then something that's like changed over the time.
No, yeah. I mean, when we started, honestly, I was just like, okay, this seems cool. Like, I don't feel like I was like, okay, stream. I will say it was a cool opportunity to kind of do something experimental, right? Like, we didn't have a playbook, and I could be very much so in my very like perfectionist. This has to be so curated. So I think stream was a great place to kind of like explore. But what I've noticed is that I have learned so much, and I also have come like, I remember sending Brent a random like Slack message. It's 10 p.m. like HR, this is fine. But I remember it was like 10:30 p.m. on a Saturday, and I was like, Brent, I'm like looking up desk setups, and that was like I never had seen that version of myself that was like caring about streams or video or how do you deliver stuff. So I think stream to me has been a space where I've been able to find new parts of myself. Like, I know that seems a little deep, but like, yeah, like that to me has been cool. I feel like another cool takeaway has been like, I see the way that Alex and I have responded to like video snafus, and we're able to just kind of distill content, create content so much easier. So I think that's been kind of so different. So I didn't have like, I think Stream has expanded things when in actuality, at first I was like, oh, Stream is going to serve a purpose. But like Stream has kind of like expanded me as a person, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Chef Brent says, y'all have both grown a ton in the space. I don't think we realized how that would manifest either. Like we, at one point, you know, we're like, we're at work right now, right? We're at work, and we were trying to like be like, how do we quantify this for work? And it was like, oh, the answer is like, how are people liking the other stuff we're doing? And what we realized is after this, we had a, we like not long after we started this, and it started to feel like click a little bit, we ran a webinar where there was like a technical snafu. I think like Bianca had like dropped when she was supposed to be presenting, and then I was just there, and it felt a lot smoother because we had the experience of being on here together, dealing with weird stuff. And like I was like, oh, that's it. That's what this is all about. That's what this does for us. So it is a little bit intangible.
It's so interesting because like when you bring that up, one thing that I feel like, you know, we didn't plan for is like even us learning how to work and collaborate just with like each other. Like we do a lot of, Alex and I, we collaborate on a lot of stuff. But I actually feel like we've been able to, I feel like the skills that I've learned just collaborating on Stream has also shown up in how I collaborate with other people. So I think that to me is like a subtle, like, you know, we're having to like, you know, build off of each other. What did you say, Alex? Okay, well, how can I show up today, right? So I think that collaboration aspect to me is like underrated too. So that's been interesting, like just like observing. But then my other question is like, I feel like sometimes when you feel like stuff is working, there can be a desire to like make it super intentional, right? So then it's like, do you still keep the free form, or does it have to be super structured? What are your thoughts on that? I'm like kind of curious.
So for interviews, I feel like we've been pretty freeform. Like our process for an interview, it's the first time was like we had pre-calls with people and like it was fine. And I think that was still useful if somebody's a little nervous to come on, but a lot of people aren't, just because we're in the developer experience world where people are used to getting up and talking. And so we've just like made it really simple. Like we have a doc and we have people like put some stuff personally, professionally, like projects they're working on. We basically have some areas for them to fill in, and then we just talk, and it's gone really well. So I kind of like that free form stuff. But yeah, chat or anyone watching, you know, happy to see what you guys think is working and not working. I think we have some new viewers today because I'm seeing some people on YouTube. So
Yay!
That's exciting.
Hey, YouTube.
Hey, YouTube. Yeah. We're here if you guys chat. This is live. This is not recorded. So if you guys have questions, comments, thoughts,
I was like, this is definitely not recorded. I was like, y'all are seeing me. Oh, natural. No, yeah. Chat. Also curious. Ran, like, curious today to see what's been resonating with y'all. Even what y'all want to see more of. What's exciting. What are y'all building? No, yeah. It's been kind of interesting. But yeah, going back into like the lessons I've been learning from home organizing, it's like how much of a thing do you think you need? So like I have this like day bed that I'm like just getting rid of. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, when I got here, I was like, oh, I want this day bed because my friend had a day bed and I really like the day bed at her spot, but it didn't make sense for this, right? Like for some reason I was very committed to the same particular day bed, but I'm like, that might have made sense like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. So I think the thing about organizing is like, how do you update for where you're at now? And I think that can be like, it can be weird to see that like you as a person have changed. And it's like, I don't know, just like curious about like your experience with that, like kind of reconciling like who you are today versus who you were, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of stuff that I'm just
hold on. Am I having trouble hearing you?
Are you, or am I not? No, I think I'm good. Are you having trouble hearing me?
Hold on a second.
Bianca's having an issue. I should be.
Chat, let us know if you can hear Alex.
Can you hear me, chat? My microphone says it's going, so I'm gonna assume that people can hear me. But I don't really know what's happening. Anyways, um,
Oh, interesting.
can hear both of
I
you.
was like, did the sound? Maybe
You
it's
might
me.
have, maybe your sound's
We'll
not
check.
pumping to the right place anymore. Um, anyways, I think that, oh, and this is going to be weird because I'm going to talk and now Bianca can't hear me. Do you want to spend a moment fixing that, Bianca? You can't even tell. That's okay, but we'll get through that in a second. Sorry, I'm going to tell Bianca what she might need to do. Can you hear me yet, Bianca? Anyways,
I could hear
you
you.
can hear me now?
Yeah, I just need to get it
Okay.
back. Just let me know if you're hearing feedback.
No, I got you. We're good.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right.
I've actually been thinking about like getting rid of stuff a little differently, not as like what suited me then doesn't suit me now, but like what am I getting rid of to make room for other stuff? Like I look at my closet and there's a bunch of stuff that like I kind of enjoy, but I don't wear very often. And my thought isn't like, oh, I just want to get rid of this for the sake of getting rid of it. It's like, if I want new stuff, I feel like I should be getting rid of things. So it's almost like a little bit of a give or take. It's like, what are we, even for time at work, like what are we filling our time with that we're not, like what does streaming prevent us from doing, right? Because we're spending half our day on Tuesday hanging out with y'all. So like I think of it a little bit more of like the opportunity cost of all these things.
This is interesting. Like this concept of making room for the new. Like I think we forget that like you don't have all this like you can accumulate, but it does make sense to kind of like okay, when do you like how did you kind of really sorry, I'm just like really thinking about this like space for new.
You're deep in fall cleaning or like late summer cleaning?
Late summer. Honestly, it's cleaning. It's I call it the. I feel like I do this a lot around the time of my birthday. Like I just feel like I'll just like check in with myself, and I'm like, okay, what needs to change, or what's good, or what have you. And
Yeah.
I think also it's like prepare. Okay, you know what it is. I think when you have those life stages, so like probably, when your baby was being born, right? Like you made space for that, right? But I think in life, when there are not these huge milestones, we can forget this aspect of like making room for new. So I guess when did making room for newness become a practice for you? I know that sound like I know I went all over the place with that question, but like when do you feel like you were consciously thinking about like I need to make room for new things?
When my closet was full.
Okay. That's real. That's
like,
how it
it's
is.
legitimately like we have a very nice, comfortable house and whatnot, but like it's not ginormous. Like we have very limited closet space. We don't have any, it's an old house. We don't have any closets on the main floor. Like, and so now like I'm literally at the point where most things are generally towards the end of full. And so it's like, okay, how do I either create more space or get rid of things so I have more space? Because I just don't always have room for things. I think it's a little bit of like, it's the same thing. Like at some point your schedule gets full. At some point something gets full and you have to like create that space. I'm not as good as you are about reflecting on my birthday. I usually just like decide what meal I'm going to cook for people and then cruise.
Oh, that's real. That's real. No, yeah. I think for me, it's like it's like a good, because I tend to be very like go, 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 go. I think for me, it's like a conscious time where I could be like, okay, like, how is this going? I also feel like I use, what is it? I know they've changed the name, but what is it? Indigenous Peoples Day or Thanksgiving. I still call it Thanksgiving.
I think that one's okay. I think Columbus Day is the one that we've officially.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. So like, I feel like during Thanksgiving, that's also a time for me where I feel like you like just kind of reflect and gratitude. But yeah, no, that's like, I think this aspect of just like the margins, making room. I think for me, it's like, does life have to give you like a forcing function? You know what I mean? To make room, or does it always like, I don't know, like, do we always need those moments, right? Like, I think, yes, you could do it when your closet's full, but I don't know. I'm just like thinking about like, how do you create a cadence of like maintenance of just like making room for new, not just when like you're fed up and tired of something.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think there's a ritual. I appreciate you on your birthday thing. I think is a great example of that. It's like how am I in this moment creating that space where I'm going to reflect on these things. I think any sort of space for reflection is really important. We like I think when we link ourselves back to calendars and like you look at like a lot of religious context, that was there, right? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
different things were about like a certain time of year for reflection, like a certain like different kinds of reflection, different New Year's, different things happening, different energies that you were pulling in. And I think I still appreciate some of that in the context of like when I do engage with religion, but like that's less and less a part of everyone's daily life,
Mm-hmm.
at least in
Mm-hmm.
America. Um,
Yeah.
so like we lose some of those things, but like yeah, I mean Thanksgiving's a great example of like it's a time of year where something happens and it's always the same time of year, and it's what can you like how can you use that for reflection, I think
Mm-hmm.
is important.
Yeah, I think I've been trying to lean into like reflection doesn't need to take place during crisis. Like, what does it
No,
look
that's the
like?
worst time to do it.
Like I don't want to do the like, wow, why is this broken? As things are like falling apart.
Yeah,
So I think just yeah, kind of checking in with oneself like a little earlier. But yeah, no, that's thank you, Alex, for
yeah,
the reflection.
yeah. How wait, Bianca, since the last stream you've officially taken another turn around the sun. It was your birthday last Wednesday. How was your birthday?
Oh my gosh, it was great. It was so like different. I feel like as you get older, birthdays just change in like value. Like they just change on how they show up.
Yeah,
So I think that was cool. Um Also realizing that like I don't know, I was just like happy. Like, and even
nice.
honestly, just me. Oh, fun fact, y'all. Alex made me cry on a webinar. I literally was just like, it was just so thoughtful. And I think it was just like, oh my gosh, like, oh gosh, am I about to cry again now? I think it makes me teary because it's like, it was it's like so simple, but it also was like very reflective. And then also I think it marked a reminder of just like I get to work with some really cool people and we have fun. Like I don't know that in the past I would have been like, ooh, let me work on my birthday. But because of kind of I'm really crying on stream. Wow.
I did it. If you go back to one of I think our first stream, this was one of my goals. And I didn't even try that hard this time,
I
but
know.
I did try hard last Wednesday. We had a webinar. It was the first time we've worked together on a lot of webinars, but I think this was like the true one where it was like truly like the two of us co-leading a webinar, and it was the biggest webinar we've had in a long time. I mean, I think we maxed out at over 250 people, which is pretty big for us, and we led breakout session. It was really cool. And then at the end, as I was getting everyone's feedback, I threw on an AI generated birthday song for Bianca, it was good. I had
It was soulful R&B. I love
yeah,
the production, and then there was like stream comments. But I think even just reflecting on like wow, like I get to work with some really awesome people, and we do great work. We also have fun. We celebrate each other. So I think it was just kind of cool to observe that. So like, but yeah, the birthday was cool.
yeah.
I will say nowadays I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting older, and I'm like, whoa. So that's the change. And then I'm like, okay, everything's fine. So
I had a weird realization last night.
mhm.
This is deep. Not deep, it's weird. So like was thinking about my age, and I'm also a dad. And my like I was thinking about like my dad and how old my dad was when I was, and like memories, and I was like, oh, the I have memories of my dad being my age, which is weird to think about because like when my dad was my age, I was 6 years old, so I think I probably have memories. So like early childhood, it's like yeah, that's how old my dad was is how I am now, and it's like then I was like putting myself in those shoes as I'm a parent now too. Although I was a little older than my father when I had my child, but like it's that was just like a weird moment of like interest inception thinking, that happened for me last night. That it's funny that you bring some of this stuff up, but yeah, felt relevant.
Yeah.
um
The time. Yeah, the concepts of time. It's so like, I mean, I think about like how many streams we have under our belt. We stopped counting, by the way. I feel like at this point, we used to count like our streams, and I was like, I don't even think we counted anymore. But like, it just
I can figure it out. Give me one moment. I'll tell you what stream we're on. Keep going though.
okay. So I think that like even the concept of time. Oh, I see. See, we have some more our more YouTube friends. Hello,
Yes.
hello.
Hello, Tim.
So yeah, I think just seeing this like concept of time and how like you said, you have reflections on like, you know, your dad being at that age and like I don't know, it just time just flows. It does. It does.
This is stream number 24 for us, which is exciting. And we also took 2 weeks off. But the you want to hear another weird time thing?
Okay.
This is the longest I've ever like contiguously been in a single job.
That's real.
At Twilio, and it's been like a little over 2 years. I moved around a lot.
We're at like 2.5, because you started like a month after me or something.
Yeah. I started in May. You started in June, August?
No, not August.
No, April.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Chef. Well, okay. Hold on. Chef Brent says, "Me too." Lol. That is a big lol because Chef Brent has been at Twilio for over 10 years. That's a decade of Twilio-tude. Chef Brent has been shaped by the company and shaped it, and we appreciate his time and tenure with us. Cool.
I feel that. Okay, so this week, speaking of Twilio-ness, this week, what is it? Twike-wike?
It's Tweak Week. So this is an internal, we'll call it a hackathon. It's like an internal, it's optional, but it's like a little bit of a break from regular work where people go out and build things. And it can either be, sometimes it's a bunch of engineers going and building a new product or feature that they think would be really cool. A lot of it is people in non-technical roles doing things that are a little bit more in the weeds to help them with other things. So like I have a few projects I'm working on, one of which is to like build a database so that we have all of our presentations and demos and customer stories and things kind of together so that we can share them more readily. And then the other one is in San Francisco at the Twilio headquarters office. We have this thing called the EEP. So the EEP is EEC, Executive Engagement Center. I think it's technically the Jeff Lawson, our founder, Executive Engagement Center. And the team there wants to create a more, just a better and a neat experience using Twilio to like text the people showing up and coming in so that they can, learn things like how do you park or where do you park or how do you get in, or there's all these like cool artifacts. Like our original business plan for Twilio was written on a pizza box, and that pizza box is in this place. So it's a place there. So So my project, one of the projects I'm working on is just helping them kind of build that out using Twilio stuff.
No, that's pretty cool. It's cool because it's like even on the executive center thing, it's just like we talk about the customer experience, the customer journey. So it's like we should do that too. So no, I love that it just like inspires a culture of just like building, creating. And I think just like thinking about what's the problem, how do I create a solution? And it's like even with the presentation thing that you're building, right? Like there are probably many iterations or versions, but like that V1, right? Like what does V1 look like on addressing this problem? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
And I'm trying to be as like bare bones vanilla Twilio stuff as I can. Like I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here, or do much beyond that. So we can get into building that in a moment. I do want to throw out there, I think we have some new people here. If anyone's building anything interesting, either just period or with Twilio, we'd love to hear about it. So share your builds, share whatever you're working on in chat if you want to, and we'll happily call you out and give you some feedback too. Chat, what are you building? Thank you. I'll just, we can just ask this in every single possible way. It's there.
Yeah. What are you building?
Yeah.
Yes, we're always curious. Like, Just what are you building? What are you creating? Let us know.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sweet. Should we go build?
Let's do some building.
Let's see if my screen share works. I'm curious because
Okay. We are just.
Whoa. Will you guys have a screen? Cool.
I wish they were clapping just like a sound. We'll figure that out.
Wait, I got that. I got it.
You do? On.
Oh yeah. We
wow.
got sound effects.
Wow.
And just in case you really want to pump it up.
Okay. That was good. That was very exciting. Okay. Yeah. This is okay. Wow. Well, that was a warm welcome to the build of the day. I think every time someone does like a build, we're just gonna do that. Okay. So what are we looking at, Alex?
So I literally a few hours ago created a brand new Twilio account. So this is a brand new Twilio account. Again, I will give a few caveats. Being that I am a Twilio employee, things look a little bit different for me. And being that I needed to do some things that are in beta, so like available, but not to everybody yet. We're like a few months off for some of these. Some of these things might look a little bit different. So if your console does not look exactly the same as mine, I'm sorry. If you see something and it doesn't seem to be showing up for you for some reason and you really want it, find me on LinkedIn. My name's right here, Alex Goldman. Find me on LinkedIn, send me a ping, be like, hey, you just showed this one crazy thing off and I really want that. And I will see if I can get you into the beta. Can't guarantee anything, but I can try. The first thing, which is the key to all of this that we're going to be doing, is Flex. And so this is what I'm going to be doing, adding Flex to my Twilio account. And this used to be a little bit harder. And I think this is a Flex Connect is like a beta thing that we made easier. So this is the Flex Connect requirements. This is also the pricing is a little bit easier. I think don't quote me on this. There's a place you can find out about pricing here. It's seat-based. Let's actually just see what it says. Let's see, Flex Connect. So free trial is free, per hour pricing or per user pricing. So that's for Flex. And I think so it's a little pricey. It's $150 per named user, but it's some cool stuff.
And what have you, just for the folks that aren't super familiar with Flex, like what kind of problems do you typically see people trying to solve with Flex?
So this is something that I'm trying to get more into. Flex is a programmable contact center. So the idea being that like you don't have to build out a whole contact center. You can kind of have it be a little more fluid and work within Twilio. It's, as I said, programmable, so you can like in the back end figure out task routings and things like that. So yeah, it's just a different way. And so like our vision for this customer engagement center, and maybe I'll step back there, is that I can also do this too. The vision for this customer engagement center. Wait, it didn't work. Hold on. There we go. The vision for this customer engagement center is that so this is executives and decision makers, the higher value customers that we have coming in. And we want to give them a real good, my camera froze. Okay. Hands-on experience for this. And so the way that we're going to kind of do that is there's a team of people who help coordinate these things and work with them. And so I want to give them the ability to interact with anyone coming via text. And I'm not going to give out all of their phone numbers. That's crazy. I don't want that just doesn't make sense. And so we're going to have one phone number for the Twilio Engagement Center. And through that phone number, I think there's 3 or 4 people on the team, any of them should be able to go and interact with anybody who texts in. So that's kind of like the blanket goal and the experience we want to create, right? Somebody can just be like, hey, I'm lost. Where do I go? They can give them directions. Somebody can be like, or at the end of a meeting, it can be like, hey, would you like some Twilio swag? Would you like a t-shirt or something? What size are you? They can be like, oh, great, I'm a large. That sounds amazing. They can go pick it up and get it. They can get coffee orders, right? If somebody wants coffee in the middle of that thing, they can just go get them coffee if they text in the number, or get them a Diet Coke or whatever it is. So the whole idea is to empower the people who help make that center special to make it even more special through Twilio. And the example I actually gave was I don't know if anyone else is a Marriott person. I'm a big Bonvoy award
Not
person.
sponsored.
Not sponsored. But that's it. And so but in the Marriott app, you can message the hotel you're about to stay at and say, hey, like I did it recently because I'm chasing those award points. I booked a hotel for my father, and then I just messaged in the app, hey, can you put my father on the list so he can check in? No problem. It was done. So it's almost like creating that experience where if someone's showing up, it's just like easy to text, because sometimes you don't want to get on the phone and ask, or a lot of times they were using email, and I feel like email is not the preferred method.
Yeah. I also think too, there's this aspect of like, I don't need to see your back end. Like, there's so many times it's like, oh, well, if you need to talk to this person, you should be routed here, or you should be going there. And it's like, I don't like, I should not need to know like 15 different numbers to get 15 different things. Like, it should feel like super seamless. You know what I mean? So I do think the ability to kind of create that like seamless experience
Yeah.
for the user is super, super valuable.
We have a question over on YouTube from Tim Manning.
Okay.
Tim asked, does Flex have the ability to work with Twiml? Yes. So you can do all the stuff that you were doing with Twilio before, as in like having autoresponders or things like that, using Twiml or whatever, and then also engage with people in on the back end. So yes. Now, I will say Flex is a little bit trickier to configure than some of the other stuff. So definitely it's going to take a little bit of time to make sure everything works. But Twilio Studio flows, Twiml bins, all those kind of things work with Flex. And I believe there might even be, don't quote me on this, maybe I should look it up. There might be a Twiml verb for handing over to Flex. Let me check.
Don't quote Alex. I feel like we just need to have a side that's like, don't quote me on this. Yeah. Don't quote me at all on this.
So yeah, there's a Stack Overflow question somebody asked. Sorry, my camera's being a little glitchy, but that happens every once in a while.
It's life.
If it's, I know.
Hopefully,
if it doesn't get better in a few minutes. Okay, I think I just cleared it up. So somebody asked a question on Stack Overflow at one point, if there's a way to like integrate with Twilio Flex without the studio handover. Do we have an answer? So yeah, you can use it with task routers, a different way to do it where you can hand over to Flex. But what's this link to? Is this linking? Yeah. Yeah. In Q. So there's a Twiml verb in Q, which is basically like send them to a chat queue. And that would be a way to do it. So like you can use that with Twiml if you're doing everything based on Twiml. I don't use Twiml a lot anymore. I use a lot of Twilio Studio because it's just really easy. And yeah, so great question. Thank you, Tim. I think we also had the dream at one point that this stream would be like a big Q&A spot. So thank you for your question, Tim. We genuinely appreciate it.
I feel like we get some good, we've been getting some Q&A energy on YouTube. Oh yeah. I like the different flavors that we get from like chat, Twitch stream chat, and then you have the YouTube energy. It's all cool. Okay.
I'm gonna hit a button here. I'm gonna add Flex.
Oh.
Okay. Ready in a moment. Oh, I can navigate away from the page. Great.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, so that's going to be there. So we're going to put Flex in here. I also need to add Segment. So Segment is our customer data platform. So look at that. Flex Connect successfully complete. So there's a whole Flex UI. Let's should I go to it? I'm gonna see. I'm gonna actually switch it back to the two of us while I go, just because I don't know what the SSO looks like. So
that's real. That's honest. No, yeah. I think what I kind of like is I think a lot of times folks can only see us as this like the texting people, and it's like we have so many products that can speak to just such a variety of needs. So I think even just like being able to see tools like Flex, or how do you incorporate segment, and also how do you even leverage studio in the midst of that. And I think
Hmm.
like really playing out with more of the suites of the products, and just kind of, I like to think of it as like using it like a puzzle of sorts, like
Yeah.
building it all together. So I feel like sometimes those products don't get as much love, or visibility, or people don't initially think of them, right,
Hmm.
as a
And
solution.
yeah, and like, look, our messaging for communications in general is more about full stack, right? It's from, it's the full customer engagement platform. Know your customer, make sure your people understand more about your customer, and then connect to them on every possible channel. Like, that's really the thing that we're going for. So, um, this is what Flex looks like, and I'm gonna have to play around with this a little bit on my own, maybe. I also like dark mode. I'm a big fan of dark mode. There we go. Oh, I want to do one more thing. Hold on. This might make things a little bit nicer looking for all you.
Oh,
Yeah, now I felt the screen. Sweet. Sweet.
little zoom in action. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Well, now it was 60. There's dimensions. I don't know. It's all stuff Brent at one point or another has asked me to do that I have done, and making things happen. But I'm here now. So yeah, this is we can figure out I'll enable desktop browser notifications. Sure. Cool. So this is Flex. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. I'm not going to play with all of it right now, but the whole idea is that in the end, the people we give this to will literally be able to like see the chats coming in and then talk through them. So that's the whole idea, is to give them basically a front end to chat with whomever about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Flex is for. I still need to figure setting it up and like do some stuff. And I wonder if I can just like add a phone number, although none of it's going to be verified. We're not going to be able to do much with it because it takes a little minute to get like branded calling and 10DLC set up, which we're not going to do right now because that's just not as much fun.
Not at all. It's not as
No.
exciting. I think what I liked about your like the engagement center that you've done, which is like really understanding like the customer, the user. If I think about like an executive, right? Like that executive wants to be able to like hand over, here's a number, to whether it's their assistant, whether it's someone on their team. And it's like,
Yeah.
and I think even just like, how do you design an experience that makes sense for your particular user, customer? So it's like, I think even that aspect of like, that exec is not going to want like 15 different numbers. Like,
No,
you know?
not only that, I was actually talking to them and they were like, yeah, a lot of times we don't actually talk to the execs. We're talking to their EAs, their executive
Mm-hmm.
assistants. So like different beast for sure. And that's real. And you actually like talked about it from the user perspective. One of the people that I'm working on this project with, one of our favorite coworkers, Mauro, we get into this meeting with like him and some of the other people there, and he just like goes off of like how we're going to build out the back end, and everyone just like glazed over look in their eyes, and they're like, what? That sounds complicated. What's happening? And then I'm like, hey, like pause there for a second, Mauro, let's keep going and like see what people want to do. We get to it and we talk about all the things that they want and the customer experience, and they outline their experience. And Mauro was like, yeah, that's what I said. And I was like, yeah, I knew that, but I don't think anybody else could like understand like picking out all these different things, what that was meaning. So I think when you're storytelling and when you're building out products, you have to like have that side of like, this is what the customer experience is going to be like. Cause I think that's really important.
Yeah. It also, I mean, also like the person that's going there, they're not like, oh, we have a contact center that has you talking to one person and that's consistent. No one cares about that. What they care about is just like, hey, do I need 10 different numbers to talk to your company? Like, do I need to press one for the, like, they're looking for simplicity. And I do think like, we can get excited about like the technical things that are taking place, and it's like the customer just cares about, can I get a solution and an answer quickly? Do I have to re-explain myself like with this next person
Yeah.
that you're transferring me to? Do you have the context is a huge one. Like a lot of times it would be like, I literally gave the last person my information. Like I remember talking to like some service agents, and I would be like, are like Did you write down the notes? Do you have the notes? Do you have the context from this last person I spoke to? Because it's like, I like, if I have to do that with every other person I'm talking to and you have lost the context, or you don't have it, it's just like not as helpful. So I like this aspect of just like, what is the user journey? What is the new I like that. What is the new story that the customer can tell themselves, right? And if the story is like, every time I call this person, it's super frustrating. I never get through. I have to talk to 15 people, versus using like, I kind of like this. Like, what is the new storyline that you can help your customer kind of have? Like that to me is
Yeah,
just like an opportunity, or a framing to even leverage.
for sure. And I think that that's a good point. And I think the entire point of this is, think about who we're doing this for, right? It's the executive engagement program. It's people we're trying to sell Twilio to. And so if they can see this amazing, super cool, neat experience of Twilio, they're going to want more of it. So that's
Mhm.
kind of the goal of what we're trying to give them.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that reminder that like storytelling is everywhere, because it's like there are certain places I will not go. So there's like I'm not gonna say it here, but there's a place that I've been going through, and it's like, you know, every time I go there lately, the food, while it tastes good, the service isn't great. The order might be
Mm-hmm.
inconsistent. So now that is the story I tell myself every time I interact with this brand. They might not have my order correct. And it's like,
Oh, that
you don't want
sucks.
like you don't want your customer creating a new storyline, versus my initial story was, whenever I'm hungry, I love to go there because the food is great, the service is this. And I was like, ooh, I've started to tell myself a new story. And this is how I'm explaining. So I think that check in around like,
Mm-hmm.
what are the stories that your customers and your users are saying about you, by way of like how they're experiencing you. Got another comment, just went through that with the global brands. I was like, clearly yep, maybe they might need to start using Flex.
Yeah.
Just send them a note, just tell them like, hey, maybe Flex might be a solution for you. No, that's real.
Yeah, I feel like that's the one thing about this is like, we know when customer experience is good or bad, right? Like that's one thing
Mhm.
I always say, like, the brands that you love and who's doing a good job and who's not. Um, and I think that that's valuable, and I think that that's important to know. And like, you let that drive you. Like, would you like the experience that you're creating for your customers if you were on the other
Ooh.
side?
That's a good one. That's a good.
Yeah,
Look at all these great framings. I
I
like it.
know.
I like
And
it.
I think I'm having a hardware issue with my camera, so I apologize for the slight jitteriness. Hopefully my audio is still coming through clearly,
No,
but
your audio is great. We're gonna call it your Alex in slow mo today. It's Alex, Alex
yeah,
slow mo Alex.
yeah, yeah. I think I might know what the problem is for next time, so I'll figure that out. But if I do anything now, I'm worried that I'm just going to disappear, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think great, good call. And then also like, I mean, you're partial producer today, so like it's just we're just doing
It's
a
even
lot.
more embarrassing.
We have a lot of things going on today. I will say, on the bright side, I got better internet. I'm very excited. This is a total tangent. I'm very excited
You
about
did?
this. I did.
Is it there yet, or it's coming soon?
No, it's
It's
supposed to
there.
be, it's functioning.
It looks. That's. I thought it looked good. I just wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
My problem is that I think I'm on a VPN, which is not what you should be doing when you stream.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you're
Yeah,
doing a lot of the project stuff too. Oh,
yeah. So I was on the VPN, but
that's true.
yeah,
We learn. We learn every day.
we learn. Yeah.
Um, okay, so back to Flex.
Yeah,
So we
VPNs are not great, as Chef Brett says. Yeah, thanks. I forgot. I'm sorry. I mean, I could disappear for a minute and come back and hope it all is copacetic if I drop, but I'm gonna just keep going with it because I also think it might be a hardware thing. I'm not sure. But anyways,
we're all
yeah.
learning
So
together.
yeah, so connecting Flex. Now the next thing that I need to do is actually set up a segment, which is like the our customer data platform.
Mhm.
So that's like how we learn and remember what we know about our customers. So let me just make sure that I know where I'm getting started through here. Sure. Okay. There's like a personalized IVR thing I get to do. And again,
Mhm.
I think this I'm not sure if this is the right way, but we're gonna do it with the personalized IVR setup. Maybe my
I
computer is
call
not
it,
running too quickly right now.
we're just exploring. I feel like,
Yeah,
building, we're the same way that chat, y'all would be building yourselves. Like we're just figuring it out.
we're building on stream too. Yeah. I mean, how many times did it happen before I had something that worked? Let me just go to this. I got to figure out where to find this in console, but I can't find it off my top of my head right now. So I'm just going to copy a URL I have stored somewhere. And we'll go to that URL. Cool. Nope, that was not right. There we go. I can copy and paste. I promise. I'm here for that. So yeah, this was just following a setup. This is a personalized IVR setup. I believe we did I think one of our last webinars was on this stuff too. So it was pretty cool. Enter a name. So we'll just call this see what happens there. I agree, because it's going to use some AI stuff to do this. We're going to hit connect to segment. So this is the real clear thing. And now here, I'm going to, so if you already have a segment space, you can click this reuse. I'm going to connect a new one and figure it out later how to connect to my existing one, because I don't know exactly where that is, but agree and connect to segment. We'll just do that.
Awesome.
So it just created I believe it just created me a segment workspace. Did it? Hello?
It says you agreed to something.
Let's try one more time.
It may take a moment, so I'm wondering.
Okay, so I hope I just didn't do it twice. We'll find out.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that this is a beta project, so I don't know if everybody would necessarily have this. But I think didn't one of the last webinars, wasn't that with Kaylin?
Mm-hmm.
And I think she did one with all the stuff. So is my camera totally frozen for everybody right now?
Now you are, yeah.
Oh, fun. What?
I said I just noticed that it was.
Yeah.
Real quick. Okay.
That happens sometimes. Weird. I'm gonna turn my VPN off. So if I drop for a minute, I'm sorry and I apologize. But we're gonna see if I can get this sorted. But I should.
Okay. Well, let's see. What is it showing up? I probably should have done let me see if I can get, oh gosh, the flashes. Okay. So clearly Alex dropped. This is a one day. So I had like backup producer-ness, and I was like, I probably should have taken advantage of that and just like stayed on the back end. Let us know what you continue to see. That'll be helpful. Let's see. It says we're still live. It looks like Alex is back. Okay. Y'all are seeing a lot of the behind the scenes today. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right, VPNs were not great. Okay, Alex left and came back, but it looks like he might be back soon. But yes, okay, let's see. How are folks doing today? Oh, it is solo B at the moment. I'm here to discuss. Let's see. What do we want to talk about? So we talked about Tweak Week. So that's happening. It looks like Alex is almost back. Okay. All right. So we're getting there. Also, I love how, like we said, this is live. This is experimental. So y'all are behind the scenes with us as we're just like, enjoying the stream. So thank you for your patience, y'all. Appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, actually, no. The one thing, I don't know if you guys knew about it yet, but we did mention stuff around like the AI searchlight. So if you have not submitted, if you know someone that does, I'll add that into chat. We are running this competition, or I keep on calling it like a competition, like it's like the grand duel. Let's see, it's called the AI search. Oh, okay. Have a little corner person. AI Searchlight Twilio So we have a startup searchlight. Let me see. Okay, yep. I'll put the post in chat. But if you have a company or you know like of a company that you think might be a good fit, be sure to have them sign up. So it's the Twilio AI Searchlight. For the folks that are on YouTube, you might be able to what's that word? Uh, yeah, if you search Twilio AI Startup Searchlight 2.0 program, you'll probably find that too. So definitely wanted to plug that in. It's a pretty cool thing happening. Oh, have we talked about A/B testing? Oh, so A/B yeah, A/B testing is actually A/B testing is actually the name of our stream. So Alex, and then you have Bianca. So that's where the A/B testing. So actually, I do think Alex, one of these days we should have a chat about A/B testing. We'll do
As in like a chat about the name?
no, a chat about the concept.
Oh,
We should have an A/B testing stream about A/B testing. Just for vibes.
got it.
Just for vibes.
Got it.
Um,
I think I'm back.
you are back because I am
Cool.
talking to you. I'm not talking to a character, Alex. I was like, wasn't talking to myself, man. So I was like, you are back.
Yeah, that took me a moment. I'm sorry. Thank you guys all for bearing with. Thank you, Bianca, for covering. Yeah, I just gotta not be on a VPN when I do this.
Now you know.
But I
Now
made
you
it.
know. We
And
all
now
we
I'm
learned
clear.
somewhere, you know.
Yeah. Hey, if this went smoothly, then it might look. You might not all realize how much Brent does for us. So, I would not, if I was on my VPN and we started this with Brent, he would not have let me continue. Just it wouldn't have happened.
I was like, there's checks and balances, but there's Brent
Yeah.
Brent and balances. Brent would be like, yeah, no. But over time you just start to learn like what causes things to break and like what things allow you to not. So it just we're learning. But now you have this etched in your brain and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, never again. So okay, so let's see. So you started off, you highlighted Flex for the people, and then what
Talked
else?
about Flex. I was trying to connect Segment, and it didn't. I don't know what's going wrong. I'd have to ask some people internally, but
Okay.
it's not quite. It's not. I'm trying to connect my data, but the whole idea that we're trying to do is something called unified profiles. So that's this whole idea that come on, go there. There we go. That's this whole idea that like all of your like you have one notion for each person, right? It's like this hypothetical person named Nick Davis. We have a data warehouse where we store some stuff about them. We have them in Salesforce. Maybe we have Twilio data, like the messages that they had. And like through that, we can kind of give them a customized personal agent or kind of a unique experience that knows them.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the whole idea behind all this. We have docs for this. Definitely worth checking out. Maybe we have docs for this. I think this is still in beta, so I don't think that docs link works yet. But
we'll add that to the list of. I don't think the docs are connected. I just took note of that.
Cool. I will say you can see my next level upcoming. So there was a few weeks ago, this one right here. So if you ever want to go to developers.twilio.com, that's our that's kind of like our hub where we have all of our webinars. Whoa. Copy that. I'm going to send it to all of you. So yeah, if you ever go to this website, developers.twilio.com, that's where we have all our webinars. This is like my favorite resource because we're all over it, right? And a few weeks ago, they did Level Up with AI, Unlocking ROI with Twilio Voice Intelligence. So that's kind of a precursor to some of the stuff that I was talking about now with that personalized IVR side of things. But they did some great work, and it was a pretty cool talk about how you can use AI in voice. Because like if you think about it, voice is hard, right? Like it's a very unstructured thing. It's not easy to like pull it into a system. It's a little different. So this is definitely something worth checking out if you're all curious about some of this AI stuff. But yeah, I don't know why I probably did something wrong on my back end for how I'm setting this up, which is why this is happening. Oh, actually, I think I did it all right. So let's see if I actually, maybe I set it up and it just isn't connected right. Because again, it's a beta product. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be showing you, but it hasn't connected it yet, so it's okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna click this button and start using it for Flex because that's what we're wanting to do. Yeah, so it's a beta, and I'd have to turn that on, so I'll have to go do that later. So that was one thing that we wanted to do, and then the other thing that I want to do is a super cool tool. And again, this is a tool that's going to be coming out in the next month for anybody to use. But it is where are we? There we go. AI assistants.
Boom.
This is cool stuff. So yeah, as it's a developer preview, it's going to be available for everybody, I believe, and within the next month. I don't know the date exactly. If anyone from the ETI team happens to be on here, I don't know if you are, but if you are, then let us know when it's going to be available. But so this is kind of like a way to create smart, intelligent AI chatbots or like tools. And so I was going to create an assistant here.
The other thing too, I think assistants gets out of private beta October, right? October?
Yeah, I think it's in the next month. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Which is pretty exciting. Very exciting stuff.
Just fun, make it fun.
Know it all.
Yeah. Because here's what we're doing. We have. Oh, give me one moment to find the thing I'm looking for.
Okay.
So, and this is actually kind of a fun thing, so I'll definitely share it with all of you, or at least show it here. So this is, did that work? Yeah. So this is a little thing. So this, let me zoom in. These are some of the like what we call artifacts that we have inside of the Twilio engagement center.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the pizza box, and this is the first business plan that they wrote for Twilio. And there's some weird stuff on here. I don't know if I can I don't know if I can zoom in any more than I am right now. Yeah, there we go. It's got like, there's some things on here that you might not be able to read, like update welcome email text, a 2-minute screencast, write a blog post. Like that's the kind of stuff they had on there. They've got some other things. They've got the wall of customer shoes. Pretty cool little exhibit there. They've got coding gloves. I have a pair of coding gloves too. They are kind of like a weird version of biking gloves. We were hoping that they would be just like the coolest thing ever, the world's first gloves built for developers. It's a little hard to type with them. They didn't quite pan out the way that
it just looks cool for demos. Like that's how I feel about a lot of these things.
I have a lot of fun wearing it, which is important, right? That's something important to know. So, whoops, give me one sec. I'm like having a little bit of an issue with EVMux right now. That's okay. Anyways, so that's the coding gloves. What else we got in here? Oop. Can you guys all...
The headband. Yep, see that.
Yeah, we got the headband. I don't know what the headband's from. My hunch is a track jacket. Track jacket. This is an important one. I actually have mine right here. I'll put it on really quick. So,
Alex, fun fact.
Track jacket.
Fun fact. I have been I literally...
Do you not have a track jacket?
I've been procrastinating. Like I literally, like I have my demos and everything. Like it literally has been procrastination. It's unacceptable, but it
is unacceptable. I agree. So the track jacket is like this whole ritual that we have internally at Twilio. And the whole idea behind the track jacket is if you build an app with Twilio, you get the jacket. I think it started with like, if anyone's seen the movie The Royal Tenenbaums, Ben Stiller's character was like a red track jacket, and our founder wanted that with the Twilio logo on it. So they created it, but he didn't just want to give it to anybody. And so they started this whole program where if you build something with Twilio and you demo that build, then you get a track jacket. And originally that was like a lot of developers because it used to only be developer tools. And now we have all these low code, no code tools. And I actually just ran a workshop this morning, and I'm running another one tomorrow to help a bunch of people get their track jackets, which is really exciting. A lot of people building demos. I saw one from one of our colleagues, Morgan, who Bianca and I work with on events. She created one to help you understand what the rules were based on how far out of bounds you hit your ball in golf. People are creating all kind of fun things. It's a really fun ritual. I'll probably take this off in a minute as I get hot, but it's nice. Bianca, you should get one.
I know.
Especially considering that your team basically is the ones who like hand them out to people. So
you know what happened? So the day I was supposed to do it, mind you, this was months ago. Like I just every time there was just like something. So we'll add that to my priorities in the next couple of months.
Let's see what else we got.
It's very unacceptable.
Yeah. Jeff's book, the Ask Your Developer. This was a good read.
Okay.
I encourage people to read it. I think I actually listened to the audiobook, and I'm pretty sure that Jeff read it, which is pretty neat. That was a good one. We've got a phone. I have no idea what the story is behind this thing, nor do I think there's any description here. What else we got? We've got, this is the picture from when we went public. Brent was there. I don't know if Brent's still on the stream with us, but Brent was there doing a live stream from the floor of the stock exchange. So that was, that was real. We have, somebody said that they're having a problem with Twilio for nonprofits. Expand, if you wanna find me on LinkedIn and send me a message on LinkedIn, I'm happy to route that to the right people. We have a whole team who helps with nonprofits. You can also look at twilio.org, and that's our nonprofit team. So go check out twilio.org if you have questions about nonprofits. Definitely, if you have technical problems like it sounds like you're having, go ahead and create a ticket in, I believe it's help.twilio. Let's see, is it help.twilio.com? .twilio.com. There's a little AI assistant here. Try to ask it your question. If it can't answer, it'll let you create a ticket. You create a ticket. That's going to be the best way to get help. But if you're a friend of the stream, you can also ping me on LinkedIn, and you'll still need to create a ticket, but I can help you with that ticket once you create it. I'm not help center, so I help as much as I can, but I can't always help, but I can usually find someone who can. So anyways, what else do we got in the engagement center? Oh, bronze shoes. So if you're at Twilio for 5 years, you get a little pair of bronze shoes. That's pretty neat. Because one of our core values is wear the customer shoes. What else? I have no idea what this thing is. Couldn't even tell you. Do you have any idea, Bianca, who that man is?
Oh God.
It says the legend.
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We got a lot of owls.
It says the legend Vic.
It says the legend.
But on the side.
Some guy named Vic. I don't know. We got a bunch of Superb Owl Awards. That's like awards we give to people who do really awesome stuff at Twilio.
We love the owl.
Ooh, I want one of these. This is a hack pack. So the first time that Twilio ran their conference, which we called Signal, they gave these out and let people just like hack and build stuff on them. I think Chef Brent has Hack Pack V4. Yes, I see a little V4 up in that top corner there. It's very tiny. I can read it. I don't know if you can, but the first was a backpack. The first Hack Pack was a backpack that with a little screen that you could program, right? These are cool. I might have to go see if there's some extras and steal them because I love playing with this little stuff. Maybe
wow, way to tell people you're stealing goals on stream. Yes.
There's some left in the office in places, and if I'm using it for Twilio content, I meant steal as in like grab one so I can use it to create content. We're content creators, Bianca. We're creating value.
Yes. We need a backpack. I will say there's some merch in here that I'm like I would like. So we're in alignment here.
Yeah. Our first billboard just said "Ask your developer." That was pretty cool. That's a pretty big one. This is a model of it. See what else? What's this? I don't know what this Magictron 3000 is. Brent, if you want to jump in and tell me what this thing is, go for it. I will notice one button says Rickroll, which doesn't surprise me because that's a core Twilio value is Rickrolling.
Never gonna give you up.
But anyways, there's all this stuff in here, right? And they have a little bit about what it is and whatnot. And so, like, this is the kind of thing that we want to pull into into that AI system. And so the cool thing, going back to console, is so like let's think about what's the personality of this going to be? What do you think? Can you help me with the personality, Bianca?
So I'm thinking, I mean, beyond it being helpful, hey, you're like it's very hospitable, it's professional, succinct, like very clear, like very like direct while also being very like kind and professional.
Yeah,
that could be
definitely
definitely clear and concise. That has to be a trait.
I want to lock this down a little bit in that like only questions about the Twilio Engagement Center, because I don't want you to like be like, who's the best basketball player of all time, and it's to start getting an argument with you.
Oh yeah, I like that consideration. Okay.
And use your knowledge. Yeah.
You're not a hospital. You're hospitable.
Did I say hospital?
That would have been such a cool. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm not a bot. I'm a hospital.
That would have been too good.
Yeah.
Yes, you're hospitable, professional, and helpful. You are very clear and concise in your responses. You only answer questions about the Twilio Engagement Center. Yeah, I kind of like it. I like it.
Nice. If I could spell engagement right, there we go. And here, like once I get that segment thing created, there's this enable AI personalization engine. So what that does is that'll then look at segment and pull in the info they know about somebody from segment. So like, for example, if you are interacting with that, they might pull in and know that you work at Twilio and be able to be like, oh, since you're a Twilio employee, you know what's going on. Or maybe they know how you've interacted recently or stuff that you've done. So it's a pretty cool little tool right there.
Like having that additional context. Yeah. Make it personal.
Cool. And then, okay, save changes here. Okay. Now, there's a few things we can do. Knowledge. Let me make this so anyone with a link can access, no sign required. Cool. Copy the link there. I don't know if let's find out if it's gonna name of source. So this is the
list of artifacts or something.
Yeah, list of artifacts. Use this to talk about the artifacts in the Twilio Engagement Center. One day I'll learn how to spell. And then I think I can just give it, I can like upload a file. So like it can be in all these different formats. I'm going to do it that way. Actually, I'm going to save this as a Excel file because it can do XLSX. So let's do that. I can't download it.
Oh. You may have to do a link. You might have to.
And I can't make a copy. Yeah, I'll just do a link for now, but I'll have the team that owns this download it. Cool. So we'll go website, I guess. Page step 0, so they can actually click through links to learn stuff for you. Okay, let's see if that works. That may or may not. I don't know. I haven't had it point to this before. So now it's indexing it and it's pulling all the info. You can see it's in progress right there. And we'll wait a second for it to feel out. I feel like I need some like Jeopardy music. Is that a sound?
No, I don't think so.
I think our music stopped. So I'm going to turn that.
No, the music's still here.
is it?
I still hear music.
Okay. Well, maybe I just turned it back on.
You don't hear the music?
Oh, Skip has a prime part 1 that Chef Brent. So like now this is complete. So let's go
So
over
quick.
to it is pretty quick. So like we can simulate it now. Let's see if it worked. Add an identity, just me at email.com. This is like how it knows who the person it's chatting with is. Can you tell me about the pizza box? Let's see if I don't know. This might not work because of how I set it up. We'll find out.
We'll see.
Oh, knowledge list of artifacts.
Okay.
So it's using that. So like it pulled that content. I didn't even need to do anything. I just told it where to go look. And now it says, and just copy that, right? The pizza box is an item enshrined in the TEC that was used by Jeff, John, and Evan to write their to-do list for launching Twilio. So like that was like 4 clicks and all of a sudden it's got that whole source of data in there.
I like what I also even like is that it added this like, well, I don't know if this was already on the description, but it's like even the aspect around like employees getting a silver box, like engraved. So that was pretty cool.
I think it is in there. Let's see. Is that in there? Yeah, it does. It says
okay,
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. So
I wonder if oh, sorry.
Yeah. What do you want me to ask about?
Kind of what are some cool items I should see in the engagement center?
Yeah. There you go. Items I should see in the engagement center. Cool. While it's doing this, do you mind talking for a minute? I'm gonna pause I need to go.
Oh no, you're fine.
Use the restroom for a moment.
I'll be
back in just a moment.
You're fine. No, you're fine. I will say, one of the things I was thinking about was just like the AI prompt. I'm thinking about stuff that I'd probably would want to refine refining the.
You want to refine the prompt?
Not the prompt, the character. Yeah,
the trait, the system.
The traits. I was like, why are you still here? Go away. Find the traits of the assistant. Because I was like, it doesn't seem as personal as I would like it. Like a little high, a little, let's see. Okay. So we have the knowledge list of artifacts. Also, for folks who haven't played around with the AI assistants, even though it's in private beta, if you aren't familiar, I'm going to add something in chat just so you can play around and peruse to learn more about the AI assistants. It's pretty cool, actually, when you think about it. So you kind of can start to learn more about just like that offering. You're back.
I gotta be careful about drinking entire pots of tea.
That's real.
As I start the stream, because
that's honest.
I need to go to the bathroom. Yeah,
that's real. Well, but this is why it's not a solo show. Teamwork.
No, teamwork.
So
yeah,
I was saying
a link of what,
just the AI assistants. Folks aren't familiar. No, I feel like I want to refine the traits of the assistant because
Tell me about that.
Because it right now, it just is like it's just giving you answers. It doesn't feel very human. I'm not saying we need it to feel human, but it doesn't feel conversational. So I'm wondering, make the responses feel a bit more conversational or human-like.
Oh, what happened to our personality prompt?
Oh, God.
Maybe that was the problem.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Weird.
That is weird. Maybe that's what happened. What did we say?
Hospitable, personable, knowledgeable, be clear and concise with your answers whenever possible.
And then you also said something about like only give responses related to, what is it? Only give responses related
Provide
to
response. Yeah. To the Twilio customer engagement, or I think it's Twilio Engagement Center is the name of it. And I can't spell anything right, but actually I saw this like news blip somewhere that was really weird as I'm like not let's see, save changes. Cool.
Can you ask it to be a bit more conversational in their responses?
Yeah, be conversational in your responses. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So somebody had like seen some of the prompts that Apple was using in their like new AI assistants, and they're like, there was like misspellings and like weird grammar, and they were like, either this was thrown together haphazardly and people didn't do a proper review, or those bad prompts created the best results. Like, that's wild. That like literally like ill-formed bad grammar prompts might have been the thing that created the best response. It's pretty crazy. Okay, I think that's saved. Let's go to the simulator again. We can go back to this chat. I want to actually, I don't know if I can close this chat. I don't know.
I think you can. I feel like I've seen it. It's been done. Let's see. Alex, did you freeze on me?
I don't know what happened there. Different camera. That's a problem.
That's so interesting. I was like, wait, it's from a different vantage point.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I've never seen that side of you, Alex.
I've never seen the left side of my face.
I was like, who is this? Is that the same person? Okay.
How's that? Are we back to normal now?
We see forward. Yes. We see that version of you. Okay, cool. I was like, who is that? Left side, Alex.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Okay, so we're good there.
Let's see if it's a little more conversational. I just said, what is the hack pack? I don't know if there's actually any details here about the hack pack, so it might not have anything to pull from.
Okay.
So we'll see. But let's see what it says. I don't have information about the hack pack in the Twilio Engagement Center because it's not filled in there. But then let's see, what else do we have though? This one has a description.
Customer issues.
Yeah. What about the customer shoes? Let's try that.
I'm also thinking about like how, if I was looking at it, or let's see, like if I were looking at it on a wall or seeing it.
Yeah.
Could you please provide more details?
Yeah.
I saw.
I can.
Yeah. Twilio Engagement Center.
So like, this is the problem with AI. Sometimes it's really great and sometimes it doesn't give you, so now it's looking at the list of artifacts because it didn't know that it was supposed to go learn about that. What? It doesn't have information about the customer shoes. I don't know. Did we call it something different?
Oh gosh.
I hope it's not that.
Let's see. It might be.
What about the customer's shoes?
So specific.
I don't know. That's a little weird. I wish it wasn't that specific.
I remember.
What are the customer shoes? That's AI can be weird.
I remember it was like.
No, it still didn't find it. Okay. So it's being a little weird with that one, which is okay. I got to get it into a different format so that it actually like stores better. And that's going to be probably like a document or a PDF or something that's easier for it to read. But it worked once. It always works the first time. This is not the biggest demo. Let's see the IPO story. What is the IPO story? The biggest demo I did was for the Signal, where I was like in front of a giant live audience, and we were like hoping the AI would work right, and it actually didn't work right in one part, but it still worked. It's weird that it's not pulling anything anymore, because it literally says IPO story, but let's see what the knowledge sources are here. So this is the thing, knowledge. Should be
Okay. I mean, it pulled some stuff.
I wonder if it just pulled the first one because it's like being weird with it being a spreadsheet.
Okay.
That's why I want to like download it as something different that it knows how to read better.
Okay.
The other cool thing is, yeah.
So then, okay. So you started off, you're like in Flex, so we set that up. So in your mind, how are you seeing all these things work together?
So my goal eventually, let me do this too. There we go. I'm a producer now. My goal eventually is to make it so that there's this phone number that is like when somebody is coming to the engagement center, they get a message being like, hey, please opt in for this, blah, blah, blah. We'll communicate with you this way. And then if they're messaging something and the AI knows how to answer it, things like, what's the address of the office, or what time, like things that are like very standard and basic, it should just know that and be able to answer them right away. If it's something that's a little more complicated, like, hey, who am I meeting with, or what time am I supposed to be there, or stuff like that, or like didn't have a chance to get coffee, is there coffee there, those kind of things, I would really like for it to be, sorry, my sound just got weird, and I don't know why, but that's okay. I would like for it to be able to like then go to a person, so one of the people who works at this engagement center, for them to be able to answer the question. So it's kind of like there's a little bit of a handoff there. And then also during the event, if they have a question, they can put it in chat, and then somebody at the TEC can either route it or go find the answer or save it so that at the end of it, there's a list of questions that we can get back to them on.
It also, what comes to mind too is just like even just tracking the trends in, like, if everyone's asking you the same question over and over, maybe even having like a cool FAQ that you can oh gosh,
you okay there?
my sleep's been a little off.
I feel that.
So I'm like, what is happening? I was like, midday. I was like, I know I'm not hungry because I had a good lunch. So I was like, am I craving snacks?
Are you?
This is a good point, because I was like, I haven't been eating breakfast like I typically do. So I'm just like, maybe this is I don't know. The sleep schedule is just, I don't know what's happening with me. But yeah.
Sleep's hard. I haven't been sleeping a lot recently either. I've been like staying up later than I want to.
That's okay. That's maybe, I know they say like Mercury and all the things, but I was just like, I usually am like knocked out by a certain time. And I've been finding that I'm like,
what's your bedtime? I'm curious.
I'm usually like a 9:30, 10 o'clocker.
Nice.
And like lately I've been like a 2 a.m.er. And
that's
I don't know what's happening. And it's not like I'm eating caffeine tea at night. I'm just like, I'm just up. And I was like, I've tried like putting my phone in a different room. For some reason, you're just there. I'm just awake.
Are you reading a good book?
Ooh, no.
Because that sometimes happens to me if I'm reading an exciting book.
That's interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the other thing too is that I just have way more energy these days. Yeah. So I don't know, like maybe I just have an excess of energy and I'm just
mine hasn't been that extreme. I usually try to like lights out 10:30, and I've been going to like closer to midnight. But here's the problem. I don't have an option to sleep in because most mornings there's a baby who wakes up at 6:30 no matter what. Except today was my daughter's first day of like daycare. Like we're sending her out. Like it's a program she goes with my wife, and it's great, a little like play date thing. And it started she had to leave the house at 8:30, and I wake up at 8, and my daughter hasn't woken up yet. And I was like, why is it the one morning that she can't sleep in, she sleeps in? She's like
Like,
rushing at breakfast.
I'm like, oh my God. I was like, she's growing up so fast.
I know.
I was like, wow. See,
Wow.
we'll have parties and all the things and celebrate. It'll come at you fast. No, yeah. I'm like, there's just like so much exciting stuff happening. But I will say I could see the seasons changing. Like, so I'm just like, okay.
You feel like summer's ending?
Kind of. Like,
Okay.
I feel like we're getting the fact that I was getting notifications about like Labor Day, and I was like, what?
You mean
Excuse
Monday?
me? Yes. Speaking of which, oh no, we're closed Monday. But
We're closed Monday. We'll be back. I'll be back on Tuesday.
Okay. I was gonna say, I was like,
We'll be here next week, folks. Don't worry.
We'll be here Tuesday, 2
Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. So like, even just hearing about like it's about to be September, and I was like, excuse me. So that
we're long past PSL day. Yeah, that's also a fat function of Starbucks starting to serve pumpkin spice lattes earlier and earlier. August seems early.
It does.
Yeah.
Too far. Like I even saw like there's some places I've seen some Christmas staging pop out, and I'm like,
yeah. I was talking to my wife about watching the new Beetlejuice movie.
Okay.
Because we saw the musical, it was really good. Funny story, we saw the musical in Denver, and the day after we saw the musical, the news came out about Breitbart being escorted out of the musical. We're like, were we there for that? It was like a day or two before us. But it was, so I'm like, oh, we got to go see that. And she's like, it's too, or like maybe over Halloween time, like spooky season, I'll watch that movie, but not right now.
It's like, I can't get spooky in the summer. You should be out, like outside, just frolicking. It doesn't feel spooky. I just don't feel like it's time for the spook. I feel like
it's light too late. It's got to get a little lighter, a little earlier.
Yeah, like it's like when you're gonna be like, boo, I'm scared, and like it's sunlight at like 9, like that. No. Yeah. Chef Brent is like, don't talk to me about early pumpkin. They have, yes, like I feel like with certain flavors, like when I think about summer, I'm just like tropical, light, airy, fresh. Like pumpkin makes me feel like it's a little heavy. It's like warmth.
Yeah.
So then
it's warming. I'm already hot. Like,
see, says the person with a jacket on. But
I'm gonna be taking this off any moment because it's starting to get warm.
But it's like I feel like once you get into pumpkin spice season, it's like warm. It's just I don't know. Like,
but you're in Atlanta. Does it ever how cold does it get in fall and winter there?
It does. It actually gets pretty. Like I definitely crank up the heat. Like I will say summers are summers. Here it is very hot. So, but yeah, it does. I mean, it does get pretty cool. Like I've worn jackets here. I keep all my jackets in Atlanta.
I feel like now in Denver's like perfect weather because like there's some times in summer where it's like in the 90s approaching 100 and that's hot. It's like in the 80s right now. It's like perfect Colorado weather right now.
That's real. It's like, but yeah, I feel like the seasons, there's no concept of time, just capitalism. Just when can we sell this? When?
Well, and you live in like Atlanta where there's like less seasonal change. I used to live in Phoenix where there's not a lot of seasonal change, and it's 100% like what's the capitalist holiday that we're like doing with right now?
It's so fascinating, and I'm just like, yeah, especially nowadays. Like, I was just like, I've already seen. There's like, Magnolia Bakery in New York. I guess they put out their like good pumpkin spice something. And I was just like, people, like, let it end. Let's just let the summer do its thing. Like, can we have a little more lemonade just before we wrap it up? Like, so anyways, I digress I am not a pumpkin spice hater, but I'm just not. I just don't understand the push.
You think there's a time and a place for pumpkin spice?
Yes. Yeah. I'm not a fan.
I feel you.
But I digress with all these things. Yeah. I'm like, look at this. This is cool. I'm like, use Flex. I feel like Flex doesn't get that much love from, it's like you'll hear about it, but I feel like Flex got a lot of love during, I feel like, COVID days,
Yeah.
because I think people were just like, we have to respond to a lot of things. And I also think you had a lot of different hands, volunteers kind of responding to
Mhm.
things. But I feel like in the day to day, people forget like the value of just like that singular contact, creating a seamless experience. So it's kind of interesting because I think once we came back into being IRL in person, people forgot about the importance of a great digital experience. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I think it's there. I also think like within Twilio, it's just been a different focus because like AI popped up and that got way more exciting. And then also we're on the developer network where we typically work with developers, and like while Flex has some developer components to it, it's a little bit more of like a turnkey solution. It's just a little different vibe. Um, Sometimes the music just feels like it gets loud in here. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that, but it happens. Comes in waves. But I think that yeah, I think the experience is different. I think we're still in a little bit more of a hybrid world that we're trying to like figure out as far as like when are you doing things in person? When are you calling up? When yeah. Um so that's
It's also like I think during the pandemic we didn't really have a choice. So I think you really had to like tighten up. I feel like you really had to like tighten up your digital
yeah.
experience, whereas I feel like now people are like, whatever. Versus like, the corners can get a little cut. So but I do think it was cool to see people having other resources that were
Hmm.
available digitally. So I hope we do, like you said, find how we're doing this hybrid world.
Yeah.
And I do think tools like Flex are good resources, but even just like, how do you think about your customer experience beyond just people or things like that? So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting.
And not just digital. So this is another thing, like, because we do so much digital communications. One of my favorite companies, Ridwell, who like we did a whole interview series with, super cool. They talked about how Ridwell's a company that like picks up hard to recycle items from my front porch. Um, and they were talking about how like they have a driver that comes and picks every 2 weeks the stuff up from me, and they give their drivers the like idea. They're like, hey, you're also a point of communication. If someone wants to chat with you, like, yeah,
Mhm.
you got to keep going picking up. You can't stand there and chat all day, but like, be nice, be kind, say hello. Like at one point I was slow to get my stuff out and I asked somebody to come back in 2 minutes. He's like, oh yeah, I've got like 3 more people on the block. I'll come back when I'm done with like your neighbors. And so like, it was just an amazing experience. But like, sometimes we don't like, I don't think, do you think Amazon's telling their drivers to be like super kind and nice? I doubt it. Um, so I think it's really a holistic customer experience. Um, and
Mhm.
that's why Bianca and I are here, right? We just like helping people create good customer experiences.
And also just being responsive, like understanding when what makes sense. So like I think you can lean more into like the in-person experience. Like, if the driver was like, send a text message to this and they will let you know, versus
Yeah,
like, I can let you know that I'll be back, right? Like,
yeah.
I think there can be an over reliance or what have you. So I do think being able to know when what works best, and still remember, like, you're talking to people, you're talking to actual humans, and everything doesn't have to go to the text message. Or like, there have been so many times like I would need help with something and then the
Hmm.
person's like, can you fill out this 10-page form? I'm exaggerating, but like it was just like, hi, before we even start, like they were so committed to getting my data or getting my
Right.
contact that they forgot, like, hi, like, let's have a conversation first. So
Yeah,
that to me was like,
I hear you. And it's like, can you provide value right off the bat?
mhm.
But you also need that, like, you need to know who you're talking to and why and where and how. So it's like, I get both sides of that.
Totally. And there are probably like more seamless ways to kind of get that information that's like not necessarily taking place at like, you know, the time of conversation. So like if
Hmm.
someone's in like a deep panic mode, or if they're like, I'm super frustrated, us going through all these data points and details, like that's not what I care about. So
Right.
yeah.
That's very true. That's very true.
So yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, oh my
Well,
god.
I think we just did it. I think we just did our first Brentless
Was
stream.
gonna say I was gonna
He
the
was
Brent.
here.
Is
He
that what
was
we're gonna
here.
call it? Is that what we're gonna call it? The Brentless. The Brentless,
The
the young and
Brentless
the young and the
voyage.
Brentless.
The young and the Brentless.
Sorry.
We made it.
Yay! You should definitely. Okay, can you put the clap? You have to put the clap sounds.
Oh, you want me to put the clap sound
Yeah,
on?
you made it. Yay! Like that was huge. Like this was your first time producing a stream.
Yeah.
You had a bunch of technical issues, and you still like. Oh,
I made magic.
I like this. That might be actually like a good when we have a special guest. Maybe we can do that.
Here's another special guest one. Before someone comes on, we can be like, "Oh, who's there?"
Hello. Oh no, I can't. Not my voice. Like hello. Why did I sound like I was on a children's show for a moment? Hello.
My life is a children's show these days. I didn't notice anything weird.
Like it's just like clearly. Okay, but great work. Great work, Alex. Like
Thank you.
You know this.
This is all Brent setting it up. Like he set this all up for us and made it.
Yes, but Brent. Someone had to click the buttons. So
I did click a few buttons.
And you didn't break it. You didn't break the stream. I don't think so.
Well, I broke my camera at one point, but that was
okay. So yeah, we had one casualty, which was your camera, but this was huge. So shout out to the team. Also, I'm still just in awe that we were testing out EV Mux just randomly. It popped up when we were on another stream, and the time to implementation was pretty quick. So like, congrats!
There's even a stream where Brent built it. So if you're curious about how this was all built, go look on Twitch for some of our previous streams, and you can see it. And we had a bunch of people joining from YouTube today too. So thank you to all of our YouTube viewers and commenters, and thanks for everyone for chatting with us. And yeah, we're excited to see you next week. Same time, same places. 2 p.m. Yeah. Twilio Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Bye.